Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Thursday August Lives, explaining what phonics is all about. As mentioned last week, I will be focusing on phase 1 and 2 of phonics, which are usually covered in preschool, nursery and the autumn term in reception. My name is Zara and I am an experienced early years and key stage 1 teacher and founder of Little Learners Education. Little Learners Education helps parents to give their toddler or preschooler an excellent foundation in phonics, maths and literacy without the need to sit still by teaching fun techniques through play-based interactive classes so they gain the skills for a successful head start to school and a passion for learning, even if they haven't shown an interest in numbers, shapes and letters before. Today I plan to deliver this session in 3 sections. Firstly, to give a quick recap on what phonics is and what this means. Secondly, today I will explain in detail how a further 2 of the 7 aspects of phase 1 phonics, termed general sound discrimination, instrumental sounds and body percussion, is taught within schools. And thirdly, to provide practical ideas to support the development of these phase 1 aspects, termed instrumental sounds and body percussion, in fun, manageable and easy engaging ways within your homes. As mentioned last week, children develop their phonic knowledge through kinesthetic learning, so I will continue to make this session interactive. So if you'd like to rewatch the activities with your child, it will encourage participation and a chance to experience the phonic activities together. If you have any questions related to phonics, please feel free to type them in the comment section below. If I'm unable to answer them at the end of this live, I will certainly answer them in next Thursday's live. So a quick recap on what phonics is all about. Phonics is a way of teaching children how to read and write. It helps children hear, identify and use different sounds that distinguish one word from another. Phonics involves matching the sounds of spoken English with individual letters or groups of letters. There are 3 main steps in phonetic development as shown in this slide. Over the 4 Thursdays in August, I will go through each of these steps in turns when talking about how phonics is taught. Children need to be experienced with a variety of sounds around them to get them ready for learning letter sounds. They need to develop the step 1s and 2. The Department for Education Systematics Phonics Programme, called Letters and Sounds, divides the 3 steps into 6 phases. Phase 1 is the beginning of the systematic learning of phonics and takes place predominantly in nursery or preschool. There are 7 aspects which are focused on in phase 1, so all of these skills need to be experienced and built upon to support reading and writing. Today I will be going through instrumental sounds and body percussion, providing practical ideas to support the development of these aspects and explain how these skills developed through these activities support reading and writing. Instrumental sounds is where children are developing their awareness of sounds made by various instruments, experimenting, exploring and learning how sounds, tones and volume can be changed, listening attentively to discriminate between instrumental sounds and identifying which instrument creates which sound, developing the skills in remembering sound patterns and order through echoing simple sequences. So, practical ideas to support the development of phase 1 aspect 2, general sound discrimination, instrumental sounds in a fun, manageable and engaging way are: Activity 1, using a bowl and a spoon. So developing the skills in remembering sound pattern and order through echoing simple sequences can be done through simply having a bowl and a spoon. Start simply by holding a steady beat, such as encourage your child to copy, then increase the complexity, still keeping that steady beat, such as bowl, floor, bowl, floor. And then, when ready, increase the complexity still, bowl, bowl, floor. I refer back to when I mentioned last week that phase 1 aspects can be returned to at any age. This is an example. It is fun and promotes memory skills and focus. An activity which promotes the development of vocabulary through talking about instrumental sounds is through creating your own musical instruments with your child using junk modelling material like those shown in the image. I'll post a link to a step-by-step video on how to create these in the comment section below following this live. So, using character puppets, toys, or images from storybooks, and your instruments or homemade instruments, discuss matching sounds to the characters. For example, which instrument sounds most like the mouse? The castanets, the maracas, or the drums? And why do you think that? A great activity to encourage experimenting, exploring, and learning how sounds, tone, and volume can be changed is by giving your child a stick to discover how various different sounds can be created if stroked or tapped along a pipe, wide fence, plant pot, a metal slide, a wooden door, or concrete floor. Then, to promote listening attentively to discriminate between the sounds, play a listening game. Tap the stick and ask your child, what did I tap the stick on? Was it the plant pot or the pipe? This is a simple activity, but lots of fun and learning. The next aspect that I'll be covering today is body percussion. This is where children use their body to accompany songs and rhymes by clapping, clicking, tapping, patting, and stamping. During this aspect, your child is developing the skills mentioned in instrumental sounds, but also developing an understanding and appreciation of rhythm in speech. Adding body percussion to songs emphasizes the rhythms of language in sentence patterns. I will explain further on how rhythm helps to develop the skills of reading and writing in depth next week when I focus on aspect 4, rhythm and rhyme. So, practical ideas to support the development of Phase 1, Aspect 3, general sound discrimination, body percussion in a fun, manageable and engaging way at home are action songs. So great action songs that involve body percussion through clapping and stomping are If You're Happy and You Know It, Wind the Bobbin Up, and Pat a Cake. Once your child is familiar with action rhymes, spend some time exploring with your child sounds made using body percussion, such as clicking fingers, and asking questions such as, what sound does rubbing your hands together make? And encourage them to try different ways of making different sounds, such as, have you tried making a sound by tapping your fingers over your mouth when it is closed? And then when it is opened, how does it sound different? Encourage them to also listen carefully to different sounds made with their feet when they are walking, running, or skipping, or telling them to listen carefully to the sounds your feet make when you're stomping hard, slowly, softly, or fast in flip-flops, boots, and high heels. As you read with your child, they can add some body percussion sound effects to the story by patting, stomping, clapping, and clicking. Stories such as A Three Billy Goats Gruff are great tales for your child to join in with the story, using their bodies to add the body percussion sound effects, such as varying the sound with a big, medium, and small billy goat's gruff trip-trapping over the bridge. Clapping routines. Making up your own rhythm and clapping routines is great fun and develops the skills of remembering sound patterns and order. Create patterns for your child to follow, such as clap your hands softly, then fast, patting your thighs, then stamping your feet, or tapping your fingers, then clicking your tongue. You can even make up your own handshake routine to remember. Children learn a lot of skills through songs. Here is one of the songs from Little Leonard's Education, which promotes the skills in remembering sound pattern and order through echoing simple sequences.
Little learners, can you make a pattern on me? Clap and tap. Little learners, can you make a pattern on me? Clap and tap. Look and listen carefully, then copy after me. Little learners, can you make a pattern on me? Clap and pat. Clap, pat, clap, pat, clap. Your turn. Little learners, can you make a pattern on me? Clap, pat, stomp. Little learners, can you make a pattern on me? Clap, percussion. Look and listen carefully, then copy after me. Please, so learners, can you make a pattern on me? Clap, clap, stomp. Clap, stomp. That's right.
Brilliant, and the song goes on to keep continuing and remembering the pattern. So now to answer the question of how this helps reading and writing. Firstly, it develops concentration, speaking, listening skills, and listening attentively. Secondly, it supports tuning into sounds by developing the ability to compare and discriminate instrumental and body percussion sounds. Over time, this will help your child to hear and compare the different letter sounds in words and develop an understanding that words are made up of different sounds termed phonemes. This is the skill required to discriminate between different phoneme, the speech sounds in words, when reading and writing, and hearing the individual speech sounds. For example, f, I, sh in the word fish. Thirdly, listening and remembering sounds and sound pattern supports the skills to listen and remember speech sounds in order to read and spell. Recalling the order of phonemes in words will then support your child to blend phonemes together. For example, listening and remembering the sounds a, t, in order to blend and make the word hat is a skill required for reading. Gradually, in phase 2, they will learn to match phonemes to letters, graphemes. So this is progressing on to recalling what the letters H, A, and T look like when written. This is the phonetic knowledge used to read and write. Fourthly, adding body percussion to songs emphasizes rhythm of language in sentence patterns. I will explain further how rhythm helps to develop the skills of reading and writing in depth next week when I focus on aspect 4, rhythm and rhyme. I hope you have found this useful. I will be back again live next Thursday to answer any questions you had today and explain what phonics is all about within the next 2 aspects in phase 1, aspect 4, rhythm and rhyme, and aspect 5, alliteration. Goodbye.